Hi Virgo, welcome at your weekly deep intuitive tarot reading with Annemiek from Tarot Enlightenment. Let's hit it. Let's hit it good. Ooh, frog. That can go in a positive way and in a negative way. I'm going to get somebody else with it. Craw. You feel like you've been institutionalized. Are you? Maybe you literally are. And there's a lot of sadness about it. These are tears of crying. I mean, the rain is of tears. CRAW stands for many things. CRAW stands for institutions, organizations, associations. A group of people with a leader, with a boss, a CEO, a manager, and they got you. And you feel very sad about it. Maybe it's about money. Let me see, before I start speaking. Rider Waite, please. I use the animal deck, this animal spirit deck, to get an energy feel and to get a more description of you and the other person. And then I'll see what direction it goes with Rider Waite. Oh, goody. You feel like you've been stabbed in the back by this organization. I'm getting chills. Some of you have been treated really bad by an organization. A story comes up. It came up before when I started this session, and it does again, so I know I have to talk about it. Following the higher self isn't always my choice. It looks like it is, and I trust it's for the best. But it's not always the most easiest path. I have children, 3 of them, and when they were little, one of them got examined, diagnosed, and because he had been diagnosed wrongly, and I felt that. I knew some details of this diagnosis are correct, but not all of it. This is not what he is. The most important institution on children's care had a look. And I got a guy there in front of me who saw me, and the easiest way to say this, and I want to say it because on either side you are on, maybe you're the boss and you have been treating somebody really, really, really bad, but maybe you're the victim of a certain situation. So I'm sure there's a lot of in this story for you. There's a lot in it. The short version is, he fell in love with me and he wanted me, and within a couple of minutes it was clear that I rejected him. So he hated me, therefore, and wanted to stab me. And he did. But by stabbing me, he hurt my children, he hurt my family, and I got so afraid because what he did, he started threatening me to take away my children because he assumed I was a bad mother. Because I said, I think my son is autistic, has features from the autistic spectrum. And he was like, you are such a horrible mother that you want him to have that spectrum, part of that spectrum. And I was so surprised that I was blocked completely. And he wanted me and my children to be for 6 weeks, 3 days a week, in one room with the 4 of us, being filmed, so specialists could see how we were dealing with each other, how I was as a mother. I said to him, I'm not going to do that. So he cut off the money that my son got for special attention, special care, which was horrible, because it meant he was home all the time. I didn't care because I was homeschooling him, but he needed also freedom. He is a guy, so he also needed to be around with the world, with other people, with men. But there wasn't any money for it anymore. Also not for other teachers. So the reason that this guy gave was to close the money stream, was exactly causing that cause. So it didn't make any sense. And I told him again, even after he closed off the money, I said, I'm not going to do that because I would be, you're calling me a bad mom now. I'm not. You can ask whomever you want. You can ask whomever. Ask the teachers. He never did. He never did. I said, ask parents at school. He never did. He just stayed behind his desk, looking very angry and hateful towards me. And he said, I can have your children being taken away from you. And I know that back then in the Netherlands, back then sounds as if it's a really long time ago, my children are grown-ups now, that it happened in the middle of the night. Police would lift up children from their beds because parents said, no, he's not going anywhere. Very severe cases. But this man was in power. This man was that institution in that certain area. I said to him, if I would get my children from school, if I would tell them you can't go to school for 3 days a week, 6 weeks, for a period of 6 weeks, then I would be a bad mother, right? I stuck to my principles, to my standards, to my norms. I stuck to my feeling, my instinct of what I had concerning my children. My intuition was flawless and I could act upon it more and more. Eventually this whole thing, and that's why I'm also telling it, I'm sure, this card, 10 of Swords, normally stands for a complete change. It changed me because he said, you're wrong, you're wrong, you're wrong. But the more I had a look at how I was as a mother, as a person, as a friend even towards my children, I was like, damn girl, you did well. Applause, applause, applause. Thank you. This guy was, he wasn't clear. Most probably he confused me for his mother, who was a very chaotic mother, and I wasn't. I've been a really good mom. Yeah, my children respect me. They even put it back then on Facebook and stuff. I was sitting there with my son, and maybe you know somebody who's autistic. His mind wanders off very quickly towards trains because that was his thing and his hive, and he needed me to comfort him and to bring him back to the conversation. So I touched him underneath the table, just on his legs. He was 9 years old back then. I touched him under the table. In the report later on was written that most probably there was incest in that family. That guy was so sick in his mind, and he was so, how you say it, feverish because of the power that he had to destroy families. That's where you are dealing with too. The good news is you will be able to get out of it. You will. It made me stronger. The horrible thing, the most horrible thing about it was that I got so tense because of his threats. I couldn't sleep at night. Well, most certainly back then, if I didn't sleep, well, maybe you're a parent, you know, if you hadn't had a good night's sleep, you're horrible towards your children. I've never been horrible towards them, but I would be more snappy, more quickly irritated, wouldn't cook so lovely as I normally would. Yeah? Two cards. Oh, yes. Oh, of course. Of course. Page of Wands. Page of Wands. Page of Wands is there's a danger of narcissism. Most obviously. To you, it's most probably already very obvious. This guy was a narcissist, yeah? And if you understand Dutch, the Dutch language from the Netherlands, I hope so, because I made a clip about narcissism. Watch it, please. This is about narcissism. I couldn't run away because it would make me look bad, yeah? What I kept on doing was offering my children love and a stable home, despite of the contradictory words of that guy. I continued with sharing the good things with them. I didn't talk that much about this guy with them. Also because at that time I also didn't have it clear, because when people shouted at me, I was raised to be a good girl, to be nice, to smile sweetly and to shut up. I'm going to take away your children. Why is that? I would give the wrong messages with that attitude, and therefore he could continue. He even shouted at me once. Well, it really was amazing how badly I've been treated there. So maybe I already gave you an advice. At least see this pattern. See that this person, he's not very clear. He's high on power. Get somebody else. Get somebody else along with you. Maybe just a friend, so that he won't shout at you. So when you're missing stuff within the conversation, then he or she can help you to pick that subject up again. Wait a minute, you just said this and that? No. Yeah. This can even be about a mortgage. About getting a mortgage. Yeah. Maybe you can bring, if you're a feminine, maybe if you're a woman, you can bring a masculine? Yeah, a male friend, sorry. And a masculine friend. So you might ask this person, if I would be a man, would you also be treating me like this? If my readings are energetic, which also means that the roles can be reversed, right? So if you are that guy that makes families unhappy by decisions, and maybe it's your job and you can't do anything else, okay? But today or tomorrow when you return to your job, or maybe in this period, loosen up the rules. Loosen up the rules. Institutions are capable of breaking families. And I know sometimes it's fair. Sometimes it's necessary. But then we're talking about really, really, really bad cases. And you could tell by the sweetness of my child, my children, and the bond that we have had back then, have now, that nothing weird was happening there. No. Okay. That was heavy. These clips are also mine. Thank you for watching. If you got a lot out of it, then I would love it. If only just for a small amount of money you would donate something. On the homepage of my website there's a donation button. Even if you don't have PayPal yourself, you can use it.